Am I audible, all of you? Yes, Kaveri. Okay, audible. Okay. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಹುಷಾರದ್ರಿ ಹುಷಾರತ್ತ ಐತ್ರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ okay. See here, when your workshop is started, okay, all of you do your mic on mute. Okay, mute it, rename the mics. If you have any query, then unmute it and ask. Okay, all of you. ಇನ್ನು ಸರ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. Okay. Yes, clear. Okay, do your mics on mute. Okay, mic ಚಾಲು ಮಾಡಬೇಡ್ರಿ, ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಇಡ್ರಿ. ಸಾರಿ, ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಇಡ್ರಿ. Okay, mute ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ನಿಮ್ದು mics. Okay, if you have any query, if you have any doubts, at that time you unmute it and ask to a sir. Okay, clear, all of you? Okay, we will wait for sir. Okay. Start. Hmm. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I Supriya Gunde. It feels immense pleasure to welcome today's resource person, Professor Sunil Shinde, Department of CSE, KLE's Sheshagiri College of Engineering and Technology, Belgavi, for the today's workshop on programming languages. Sir has vast experience of lot years of 10 plus years in technical teaching. With this short information, I present before you today's resource person, Professor Sunil Shinde, sir. So, sir, now the platform is yours. Please continue, sir.
Am I audible? Okay, fine. The slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Good morning to one and all. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. VC Halur sir for giving me an opportunity to present myself. Just a minute. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the students, those who have taken BCA as their uh, course, or they have chosen BCA to study BCA in KLE College, as this is a life-changing step or a big leap in their life, because there is a lots of opportunities outside after doing BCA or MCA, as we are moving towards a digital India concept. So this is what I want to tell. And after this, I just want to explain about like programming languages. Some people have like maybe having some basic knowledges of like programming languages available in the market. As you all people are using smartphone, the smartphone are powered by the programming languages. Without programming languages like which are like softwares built on programming languages like Android, its operating system, or Windows or Linux or whatever, we are unable to run the show. Okay. So what is a programming language? Fine. So here programming language is a vocabulary and set of grammatic rules for instructions to computers or computing device. It might be anything. It might be a printer. It might be a, particular TV, or it might be anything. Fine. So to perform a specific task. So how do we communicate with a particular, what I say, computer or any computing device? Through programming languages. There are vast and variety number of programming languages are available in the market. Around, I can say, more than 5,000. Fine, different types of programming languages. So some are open source, some are closed sources programming languages are. So we are going to discuss how the programming languages started with the history, fine, of programming languages, the definition, and the generation of different languages, and what are the hot languages available nowadays. Okay, fine. So here, if you look at this slide, we can see around there are four persons are there. You might be knowing some of them, or you may not be knowing. Uh, Top two you may not be knowing, or this lady also you may not be knowing. But if you look at here, this person you may be knowing. You might have seen in TV, or you might have seen in on the internet and all. This person is, any guesses?
No, sir.
Okay. So here, uh, so if you look at here, these are the like developers of programming languages or softwares. So if you look at here, this lady, she is Augusta Ada King. She was known as the first computer programmer, worked with Charles Babbage. You all know who is Charles Babbage. Fine. Everybody knows who is Charles Babbage. If you are into a computer science field, you should know who is Charles Babbage first. So he is the first programmer, computer lady, that too lady I am telling actually. First known computer programmer to work with Charles Babbage. Fine. And to plan the analytical engine. In the like later days, like in 1960s or 70s, there were no like such computers and all. There were like steam machines were there. There were like abacus machines were there to compute many things. Fine. So if you look at here, she is the Augusta Ada King, and the two persons I shown you in the previous slide. There were like developers of Adobe Photoshop and other Adobe products. Those are Thomas and John Cole. Fine. Both are developers. So you might be seeing some kind of like animated movies based on Adobe animation. Like the dinosaur is moving, the Superman, the Spider-Man is jumping from one building to another. Everything is built on like Adobe animations or such kind of like software which are built on high level languages or high level programming languages. And this is, you all know that one, you might be knowing. He is, that is Bill Gates, William Henry Bill Gates. Fine. So here, he is a creator or developer of Microsoft operating system. And the billionaire is a billionaire in the world, as well as the creator and developer of Microsoft operating system. That is what we all use it in our laptops, desktops. Fine. That is like whatever you call Windows 98, Windows 2000, Windows XP, Windows 10, Windows 7. These are all developed by his company. The company name is Microsoft. Fine. Okay. So here, first I will go through like the persons behind the programming languages created from basics to the advanced. After that, we are going to see what are the generations in programming languages and what are the hot programming languages are there in 2020. Okay. So here, so this is a basic definition. A programming language is a notational system intended primarily to facilitate human-machine interaction. So how do we interact with a machine? Machine knows only machine level language. Humans know high level language such as like English. Machine knows only the language which it understands, like ones and zeros. Fine? Binary digits. So here if you see that, we need to we need to bridge the gap between the human and machine. But how to fill the gap? By using a programming language. It might be anything. It might be C, it might be C++, Java, Python, COBOL, Fortran, or any language you take. Fine. In simple word, a programming language is a vocabulary and set of grammatic rules for instructing a computer or computing device. How do How do I tell computer to calculate 3 plus 5? Fine. Either I have to use a calculator which is available in the computer. Fine. Or I should do it manually. So how to tell computer? I can write a program. Take one variable a equal to 3, then take one more variable b equal to 5, then how to store the result? Take one more variable c, then c equal to a plus b. So what a is having? A is having 3, b is having 5, so 3 plus 5, 8, print 8. So I should instruct the computer in such a way that it can understand my language, that is high level language. So 3 plus 5 equal to 8. It does millions of calculation within minutes, within seconds. But we should know how to give instructions. So here the programming language is nothing but set of grammatical rules for instructing a computer or computing device. So that the notational whatever we are telling, it should be understood by both human and machine. Okay, right. So one more definition is that it is like it's a list of organized instructions that the computer must follow in order to process data into information. Fine. Okay. So I'll go to the what is program. Before that, I just want to show you one slide. Okay. Like history of programming, you should know this one. Every computer student should know what is the history of programming. Fine, how the programming language evolution started. Fine. So that is what I will cover in another 20 minutes. After that, we'll go to what is programs and what are the different types of like generations available. And I'll show you some video, one or two videos where you can see that how the evolution started from beginning 1965, 670s and so and so. So here, history of programming. This is a compiler, I'll not cover, and language history. So here, compiler is nothing but a computer software that translates or compiles source code written in high level language. What is high level language? High level language such as like whatever we speak, no English. Fine, it is a written like we use C, C++, which is written in an English language. Okay, so that is what high level language. Into a set of machine instructions. So machine knows only machine level language or machine language. Okay, so what is the language? It is a conventional spoken, like Kannada language, English language, like that. A conventional spoken or written symbols by means of which human can able to interact with computer. So history means studies the chronological record of events. So we are going to see history of programming here. So what is the programming? The process of developing and implementing various set of instructions to enable a computer to do a certain task. You will see some kind of robots in a shopping mall. Whenever you enter, they will say you hi. They will speak. They will say namaste also. Fine. So how they are doing it? Because they are following the instructions. Whenever somebody comes inside the particular shopping mall door, so the particular instruction is triggered into the robot's mind. So somebody has entered, I should raise my hand and say namaste, fine, and welcome them. So it is a instruction, set of instructions given to that robot, fine. So here even the programming is the act or process of planning or writing a program. Okay, fine. So here program is written as a series of human understandable computer instructions. So human understandable means if I tell you to write the program in machine level language, it's quite difficult, because if you see whatever the keyboard you are using, every keyboard represents ASCII code A to Z. Even your special characters such as tilde symbol, exclamation, at, or dollar symbol, percentage symbol, or numbers 0 to 9. Fine. So that's like whatever you type, A is converted to a binary digit. Fine. That is 10111 like that one. So here there are n number of like things are to be understood. So this is a history of programming. If you look at here, she is in 1842 to 1843, first computer program created by Ada Lovelace. So she worked with Charles Babbage on analytical engine, a complete detail a method for calculating Bernoulli's number. If you know about like physics and all, mathematics, you'll get to know what is Bernoulli's numbers. So she used to complete the detail of calculation of Bernoulli's number using a analytical engine. She was a lady, the first computer programmer. Okay. Next, in 1890s, look at here. This person is Hermann Hollerith. So what it is, he used to punch the census data on punch cards encoded by Hermann Hollerith. So how see he is? So he's taking census data here. Fine. Look at there. My arrow is there. So how he used to punch it? This is a punch card machine. A punch card machine. He used to keep it, punch it, and keep it for a storage. But nowadays, what we do? Suppose if you want to store somebody's name and number in our mobile phone, simply we click on save, type his name, save to Google or save to phone memory, done. Okay. So this was in 1890s, the earlier days, very fine. Next, in 1940 to 45, you can see that Plankalkül developed for the German Z3 by Konrad Zuse. So this is an early high-level language to be designed for computer but was not implemented. But because some reasons. So this is what in 1940 to 45. Then in 49, you can see that he is John Moseley. So here, it's a short code developed by John Moseley in 1949. It was one of the first high-level language ever developed for electronic computer. Fine, electronic computer. I'm telling. Fine, these are all not electronic computers, sir. This is not connected to any electricity and all. Fine, okay. So he was the first person. John was the first person to develop a high-level language for the electronic computer. So which contains short code statements represented by mathematical expressions. Okay. Then 1952, look at here. Manchester Mark I developed Alec Glenley. So this is considered as the first compiled high-level programming language. What it was doing? Machine code. Fine, a language into machine code. Look at it, how the computers were there, so big. Nowadays we have the computers where we can keep those in our bag, even some like iPads. We can keep it in pocket also, a small purse also. Fine. You cannot imagine that in 1970s or 60s, 70s, 128 MB hard disk was transferred from German to another country by aeroplane. Okay, the size was around like 15 feet high, 15 by 7 feet. Can you imagine? Only 128 MB space. Nowadays we keep 32, 64 GB, even 256 GB memory card in our small pocket. That is also possible. Look at here. It is all because of the evolution, the VLSI embedded and everything. And next, in 1957, Fortran was created by John Backus. It was specially built for numeric and scientific computing. It was an alternative to assembly language. This is oldest programming language used by NASA. You all know about NASA, no? They launched the satellites to Moon, Mars, even in space also. They were using Fortran in 1957. Even while I was studying my 9th, 10th, at that time we were using Fortran also. Okay. Next. Then we came with 1959 COBOL, that is Common Business Oriented Language. Even this was there for us while we were studying our undergraduate this one course. It was created by Short Range Committee. So it's a high level primarily for business computing. Look at the name itself, Common Business Oriented Language, COBOL. It was still used in IBM, fine. Intelligent Business Machine, IBM company, you all know that one, fine. This was first programming language mandated by US Department of Defense, primarily used by banks, insurance agencies, governments, and military agencies. Fine. It was specially used for finance and administration systems. That is COBOL, Common Business Oriented Language. It's a procedure oriented language. There are again we have procedure oriented and object oriented. We will see it later actually. It was used by credit cards, ATMs, and all. Look at here. So here you might be, if you want to tell about like fun fact that action movie Terminator, if you have seen or you can ask your elder person, they might have seen Terminator movie. It uses samples of COBOL source code for text shown in the Terminate Vision display. Fine. That was like in Terminate Vision, the Arnold Schwarzenegger is the villain. While he was seeing the hero or heroine, at that time he was a robot actually. So the text displayed was, the source code was displayed using COBOL itself. Right. Then in 1964, we had a basic language. That is basic means beginners all-purpose symbolic instruction code. It was created by John George Kenny and Thomas Kurtz. So designed for simplicity. It was designed for computer games. Were often written in basic. Whatever computer games were in earlier days, no, they were written in Contra, Super Contra, and so on and so on. Written in basic. Okay. The computers were used by this language like Microsoft, Altair, and Apple too. You all know about Apple, no? Fine. Way back. Then in 1970, Nicholas Wirth designed a language called Pascal. That is a Blaise Pascal for teaching structured programming and data structuring. It was commonly used for Windows application development. Fine. In those days, type. Fine. Teaching structured programming and data structuring language. Pascal. We have also used Pascal. Even many of the senior faculties have used Pascal. And in 1972, you all know you might be having this subject now, that is C language. So it is currently the world's most popular programming language. Many leading languages are derivatives. Derivatives means the C hash, Java, JavaScript, Perl, PHP, Python. Everything is developed by using C. Even most of the operating systems like Windows and Unix or Linux, 70 to 82% these are designed by using the C language. If you are good at C, then there is a good future for you people. Fine. So C was created by Dennis Ritchie of Bell Labs. Okay. So he is Dennis Ritchie. You can see here the photo. So many leading languages, whatever nowadays we are using, no, C has, some people say JavaScript is having boom, Python is there, fine. All are like derivatives, fine, of C language. So system programming, computer development, game development, Unix and all. You will not imagine if you have seen the movie Jurassic Park, the first movie, Jurassic Park, where you did dinosaur moves from here and there, try to eat people. The animation was designed using a software which was built using C language. Okay, so that is what. Then in 1980, okay, we had Ada language, that is after Ada language created by Jen Ishbia. So derived from Pascal for developing large software systems like NASA and NSTAR. So it is basically used by US people for defense purpose and banking, manufacturing, transportation. So in 1980s, okay. Then 1983, the next version of C, that is extension of C, introduced by our Strostrup, Jarny Strostrup at Bell Labs. Same. He also designed at Bell Labs, and look at here, he also designed at the Bell Labs. So it was an extension of C language, C++. C was a procedure oriented, this is a object oriented, with enhancements such as classes, virtual functions, and templates. So primarily uses like applications such as like embedded software, server client applications. Using this, people can able to communicate with each other using some protocols such as FTP and HTTP through internet. Even video games were developed by using C++. It is used by Adobe, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox. These are all nothing but browsers nowadays we are using. Still, they use C++. I see many interview calls from US companies or Indian companies. The basic thing they ask sound knowledge, sound technical knowledge in C or C++ language. That is what they ask. Sound technical knowledge means you should know very well. Okay, then only they will hire you. Because nowadays, whatever different things like companies they use framework. No. Okay. Next, we have 1983 Objective C. It was not so popular, but it was expanded on C, adding message passing by Brad Cox. So it was used by Apple OS X and iOS operating system. Objective C, right? Then 91. This is a hot language in 2018 to till now. That is Python. So this was created by Rossum. Okay, for British, a name was like for British comedy troupe Monty Python name given. So it's the creator is Rossum actually. So he created this software or programming language to support a variety of programming styles and be fun to use for web applications, softwares, development, information security, so and so. Nowadays you see Gmail and all, no? Gmail, Google Map, fine, or is Facebook also or Instagram is all developed by using Python. Okay, so it's combination. Then 1993 we had Ruby, fine. So this is designed by Matsumoto, designed for Twitter. Fine, Hulu, Groupon. You people know Twitter, no? Twitter tweets and all. So it is built on like Ruby language. Ruby is also nowadays very popular actually. So primarily uses like web applications development. So whatever. Next, 1994 Java. It's also a top language of 2020. Java creator James Gosling of Microsystem. So made for an interactive TV project, cross-platform means you can use it in Android, OS, iOS, or even in desktop also. Second most popular language. Primary use like network programming, web development, and to have a GUI, that is graphical user interface development. So you should know very well C and Java, then Python. Then 1994 Java creator James Gosling, fine. So this is what particular Java is used to develop core applications, core Android apps also. Even Java is used to JavaScript, Node.js, React.js are used to develop hybrid applications which works on iOS devices like Apple phones as well as which works very well on Android devices, hybrid applications. In 95 we have PHP. It's also a popular one. Fine. It is used by Facebook, Wikipedia, fine, WordPress, Joomla and all. It is a personal home page. Creator is Rasmus Ledorf. It is used for in previous days like 1990s. The web pages were static. We used to refresh every time, but nowadays everything is dynamic. Web pages are there. You can work on multiple tabs. In one tab, if you have opened your email, in one tab you are watching a movie, in one more tab you are having a Facebook. If somebody has sent a mail, no need to refresh that tab which is having Gmail. Simply it uses a dynamic web pages, so it will dynamically auto refresh itself and you can get the emails. So it's open source, fine. It is primary use like building, maintaining dynamic web pages, server side development. Then in 1995, the Rasmus, it is like PHP was used by Facebook and all Wikipedia. That is what I know. In 1986, JavaScript, it's also very popular. Fine. Before it was like LiveScript, now they call it as JavaScript. Fine. So it is used for extended web page functionality. It is used for Gmail, Adobe Photoshop, Mozilla Firefox. Look at here. Whatever you use, browsers, the calculator, the softwares in your mobile application, fine, the web portals, everything is designed by using such languages like PHP, JavaScript, or Python, so and so. This is what Fine. He was in Netscape. Fine. So this is like a particular this one quiz. I wanted to take it. I'll take it later. You can input your answer in the chat box. Fine. There are around only 5 questions are there. Okay. So we were here. So this is all like we got to know what is the history of programming languages, when it was started, and what are the popular languages. So everybody is having in their mind what is a program. So program is something that is produced using a programming language. First of all, this is simple definition. And second, a program is a structured entity with a semantic. Semantic means it should be understandable by human as well as the computer. Fine, which bridges the gap between the human and computer interaction, which interacts. So it's a mediator between a human, a person who is using a computer. Okay, fine. So what is a programming? So programming is a science because it implements the algorithms, fine, described by mathematics and science. Look at here. So program is a science because it implements the algorithms described by mathematics and science. Programming is a skill. How we can define a programming? Programming is a science, programming is a skill, programming is an engineering also. Fine? Which requires size, speed, time, and maintainability among many solutions. Even programming is an art. If you tell some person to write a program to add two numbers using C or anything, some person can write it in 3 lines, some person can write it in 2 lines, some person can take 10 lines. But here you should think about it's an art also, how to write a program. Okay, so that's why programming is an art. It requires creativity and employee imagination. Suppose you after at the 6th sem of BCA, some company visits your college and asks that we need some interns for our company, and you get selected. At that time, they ask you to design a software for their small uh, company, such as like the company which has around 10 to 20 employees. They ask you to develop a software to maintain the salaries and attendance and all. So how do you do it actually? So that's an art. You should think about what are the requirements of that company owner, how many employees are there, how to add, what will be the login pages, and many things actually. Fine. This is like programming is also an art. It's an engineering. It's a skill. It's a science. So types of programming languages already we have studied, and but here I'm going to tell you about like the generations in programming languages. There are levels. Okay, levels or generations. Look at here. The first generation programming language is called as 1GL. Second generation 2GL. First generation is having machine language, where we were having only zeros and ones. Second generation is assembly language. Okay, mnemonics were used in assembly language. Third generation, people started writing their own high level languages, which might be a procedure oriented or a object oriented. Fine. Like C is a procedure oriented, like object oriented, like C++, Java, and so and so. Then we had fourth generation programming languages, very high level languages, whatever we are using nowadays. Fifth generation natural languages, where we can have a more advanced languages where we can teach a computer how to behave. Fine. You might have seen robot movie, no? Fine. This is a high level concept actually. Fine. That might be in the future. We never thought that we can able to teach you people through a webinar, through a computer. Fine. While we were in kids, we never heard that we can able to study in this way. But it's possible now through a distance mode. So anything can possible. You can see robots holding your bags, government providing the robots to you people to do homework. Homework means household work, not your BCA college homework. Okay, household work. It can wipe your floors. It can clean your utensils. Fine, so and so. That can be also possible with the help of advanced programming languages and robots, whatever. So this is what, okay. In first generation, you can see that the lowest level language, this is which understands only zeros and one. So language used to program the first generation computers. So 1GL are made of binary numbers, that is called as bits, which understands only ones and zeros. Fine. Ones corresponds to on and zeros corresponds to off. 1, 0, like electrical switches. So it was suitable for understanding the machine, but very much difficult to interpret and learn by the human programmer, because it was very easy to machine understand what is ones and zeros, bit better, but it was very difficult to understand how we can program, how can tell with machine level language to a computer. So for that purpose, people started exploring new things, and they started designing new kind of programming languages, like high level languages, which can be understandable human, and which can be converted using compiler or interpreter and make understandable to computers. Okay. Then we in the second, this one we had generation assembly language. It was a low level language that allows a programmer to use abbreviations or easily remembered words instead of numbers. Right? These abbreviations are called mnemonics. That is what I told. These mnemonics are opcode, operation codes, and operands. Look at here. For example, ADD means add, AX and BX, move, CX to AX, so and so. So like operations code, or whatever you call it as a mnemonics. Opcodes, these are operands, AX, BX, CX. Fine. Like we call it no, add A, B. Fine. How do we suppose we have a kid, small kid in a house. If he is a first standard or second standard, fine. Then what we say actually, we try to say that ಅಪಿ ಒನ್ ಒಂದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗತ್ತ, ಅಥವಾ 1 + 2 ಎಷ್ಟಾಗತ್ತ. ಫೈನ್. ದಿಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ he understands this language, then he will say that 1 + 2 is 3, or ಒಂದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ 3 ಆಗತ್ತ. ಫೈನ್. ವಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಬೈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್. ನಿನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ 2 ಆಪಲ್ ಅದಾವ, ನಾನು 3 ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಎಷ್ಟಾಗತ್ತ. ದೆನ್ he starts thinking. So I need to do additions. Fine. That is 2 + 3, 5. Like that, we need to teach. Like that also, we need to teach the computer by using programming languages. If I say 5 + 3 = 8, or 1 + 1 = 2, then if I give the computer 10 + 9, it will say 19, because you have taught the computer how to do addition. How did you taught him? How did you taught that computer? By using such kind of programming languages. I hope I'm clear. Okay. Then in the third high level language, that is 3GL. Fine. You can see that it's an English like language. It is a refinement of a second generation, fine, second generation programming language. It was like, it allowed to write in familiar notation rather than numbers and abbreviations. Here you can see that we had numbers and notations, fine. But in high level language, what we did, it allowed us to use the common language, whatever we call it's like a normal English, fine. So most high level languages are not machine dependent, fine. So translators for high level language is either a compiler or interpreter. Look at the problem here. I know high level language, machine doesn't know. Then how to make it understandable? So we need to have a compiler which compiles, or interpreter which interprets the high level language into machine level language. So there were like high level language in the early days. That is what I told, no? Fortran, COBOL, that is common oriented business language, fine. So this is Fortran, formulation and translation oriented language. Basic, fine. Beginners, all purpose, symbolic instruction code, C and C++. Okay. So here, these are all the high level languages in the earlier days. Okay. Then we have very high level languages, that is 4GL. So these are much more user oriented and allow programmers to develop programs with fewer commands. Suppose if you are writing a procedural languages with 100 lines, Using object oriented, like very high level language, you can able to write it within 20 lines. Fine. So it's a non-procedural language. Non-procedural language. So programmers don't have to specify the programming logic here. Only tell the computer what they want done, which saves a lot of time. So it consists of report generators used in banking systems, schools, fine, hospitals and all, application generators, interactive database management system. Examples are like report generators, SQL, that is structured query language, or DBMS. Okay. Then we have natural languages. Fine. So here two types are there, like ordinary human languages like English, and programming languages that use human language to give people a more natural connection. Fine. So here, if you look at your smartphone, fine. In smartphone, you might be having a Google Voice or OK Google. Or you can see, suppose if you have a device called Alexa, you might have seen Alexa in advertisement, no? Or you can think about the particular Google device. You say, Alexa, set an alarm at 5:30 a.m. I want to go for a walk. Fine. So whatever you have spoken, it is in English language. Alexa understood and it replied that, okay, sir, I'll set an alarm at 5:30 a.m. I'll wake you up at 5:30 a.m. And at 5:30 a.m. the alarm will ring and you need to wake up. Like that only. You can schedule your meeting. So here, whatever I am speaking, it's a English language, is understandable by all the human beings. Fine. Even that is understandable the Alexa or your smartphone. In OK Google only, you can say that, OK Google, who is Narendra Modi? It will say that Narendra Modi is a Prime Minister of India from 2013, so and so. So here, the ordinary human language like English is understood by these kind of computing devices. Fine. So the 5GLs, whatever I'm saying, these are used, these kind of languages. 5GLs are designed to make the computer solve a given problem without the programmer. Natural languages are part of field study in artificial intelligence. Look at here. This is a word important. This is a buzzing word nowadays. Machine learning, artificial intelligence. So it developed machines to emulate human-like qualities, such as learning, reasoning, communicating, seeing. Nowadays, everything is smart. When you visit a particular website, no, they have designed such websites in such a way that, suppose you go to a flipkart.com, you want to buy a shoes, Adidas, you type Adidas shoes, color white and all, fine, and you don't buy it. But tomorrow you come, you visit some other sites, automatically you will get a recommendation. Adidas shoes is 50% off, 30% off. See, it's artificial intelligence. Until you buy it, no, it will not allow you to go. So ads will pop up in your web pages, in your mobile phones. Right? So it stores your interest. Right? So it is nothing but it is developed by using 5G language. Okay. So this is a evolution of programming. Here we have only 1954 to 2002. Fine. We had Fortran, Algor, COBOL, fine, Basic, Prolog. But I'm going to show you one video where you can see that how the evolution of programming language, the based on popularity started and all. Okay. So this is there. So from 1965, look at here. Lisp, APL, Assembler, Basic, Algol, COBOL. Fortran was popular at that time in 1960, quarter 3, quarter 4. Quarter 1 means January to March, then April to August, September to this one, quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. So C was not so popular at that time, right? COBOL was there. Look at that one. So number of people, number of businesses were using that one. 24%. C came in 1974, 75. It started gaining popularity. Before that, Fortran was there. So C is overtaking all the languages. Fine. C++, C. That was extension of C language in 1980s. Still C was the most popular. Look at here. That's why every course starts with C language. It might be engineering, it might be a BCA, it might be MSc or MCA. Look at here. In 1985, C was most popular language. Then we had ADA. So 50% people were saying that C is a popular language at that time. Then we had like Microsoft products like Visual Basic, fine. Perl, 1995. Most of you people haven't born on that time. Java, JavaScript. Look at that. Still, C was popular because most of the languages like Python, Java, JavaScript, or C++, these are like nothing but written using C language only. Fine. So later, after 2K, this 2000, Java started gaining popularity. The Java products, JavaScript, fine. The games, banking applications, defense applications, and mobile applications. Like we were having jar file at that time. We were having a small mobile phone operating system, Symbian operating systems, developed using Java programming language. Look at here, Python is there. It will go fast. It will go up. This will go up. So Python is gaining popularity. Java. But whatever these languages are there, no, all languages are designed by using C only. Even many of the operating systems. Look at. So this is a number one language nowadays, Python. Fine. Till 2020 also. Okay. Fine. So programming paradigms. So the number of paradigms are there. Like it is functional programming, declarative programming, procedural programming, object-oriented, parallel programming, event-driven programming. Okay, fine. So you can see that this is the most common imperative language. A equal to 10, C equal to 5, C equal to A plus B. This is what you can see. This is the variable A, it's a variable B, a variable C. To add A plus B and store it in C. So 5 plus 10 is 15. Fine. What is nothing but it's a emphasis on tell what to do. When we say do this, then do this, then do this. And if x, do this, otherwise do this, like this one. If A is equal to 10, B is equal to 5, then add A plus B and store it in C. Done. And print the result. This is a procedural or imperative. Okay. Then there are examples. C, C++, COBOL, Pascal. Right? C++ comes on both. Okay. Then we have it is used. Is there any best programming language? That's what I have shown it to you. Fine. You start with C, then you can go to Java, then C++, Java, JavaScript, then Python and all. Fine. So if you are using a scientific thing, you can use program using Fortran or Pascal or C. Fine. Okay. This is a evaluation criteria means how the languages are evaluated. It should be readable, orthogonality, applicability, writability, reliability, cost, and other. Cost means we should have an open source. Fine. There are some closed source languages also there. Fine. Like you need to buy their products, Microsoft products, to use .NET programming if you want to do it. Fine. So readability measure programmer easy in reading source code. Orthogonality, it's a context sensitive restriction. Then we have applicability, means which is best suited, means you should use the right tool for the right job. Suppose if I say you to design a small app for your college where it can maintain student attendance, a small app, Android app. At that time, you should not go for like C or C++. We should choose Android development languages. Fine, you can have Android IDE. Fine, or you can use hybrid programming languages such as like JavaScript. Fine, you can use it, or you can use Cordova, or you can use Ionic, so and so. Fine. Writability includes simplicity and orthogonality and support for the abstraction. Reliability, which should have reliable also include type checking and inspection handling. Cost means it includes learning and writing cost, productivity, compilation cost, and debugging. Fine. Flexibility also it should have. So this is like a language evaluation criteria, and we have this is a history of C language. Already we have seen. It's a general purpose computer programming language that between 1969 to 73 by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Lab. Fine. It was a descendant of Ken Thompson's language B. Before that, it was having a B. Extension of B, after B, C comes. That's why they named it as a C actually. Fine. This is the first programming language published in 1978 by Kernighan and Ritchie. Fine. And ANSI C was the second one. Fine. Published in 1989. So ISO International Standard Organization approved ANSI C in 1990. Fine. So this is all about programming languages. Fine. So I can see whether I do have anything. Fine. So one more video is there. Let's see. Fine. This is not required. Already we have discussed. So this is all about the programming languages that we covered from first to fifth generation, and we saw how the programming languages evolution started. In the earlier days, a lady was there. Fine. She worked with Charles Babbage on analytical engines. Later, you can see that how there are number of popular programming languages available, and how the popularity gained from 1965 till 2019-20. Fine. So you choose wisely, do hard work, fine, and take help of your faculties. They are always ready to help you, fine, and learn in a better way. Okay. Thank you one and all. Thank you, Dr. VC Halu sir, for giving me an opportunity, and thank you all, the Kaylee team.
Thank you, sir. This is there is very important information we are sharing with our students. Okay, it is very helpful to students. Thank you, sir. On behalf of KLE management, KLE BCA college principal, staff, and student, very heartily vote of thanks to the wonderful session, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And if anybody is having like any doubt regarding anything, fine. They can contact me on this email ID. Fine. They can contact regarding any information related to programming languages or anything like that. Okay. Fine. Thank you one and all once again. Thank you, sir. Madam, shall I log out?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.